There's a reason you can't stop restarting rather than just continuing. We're all serious at the beginning. You are serious at the beginning. Usually. But this time's different. You're not just serious, you mean it. The restart kind of feels clean this time. Sounds kind of nice. And I know you feel that way because I've felt that way before. But let me tell you something. It is a very slippery slope. And Satan uses this exact tactic to his advantage all of the time. Now, the reason why a lot of people want to start over is because starting over is just the perfect excuse to stay less consistent. Nobody wants to be consistent. It's boring, right? We all like dreaming about things a little bit more, right? I mean, it's more fun. And in fact, there's some science behind that. The thought alone about your goals or the dream life or the end goal, really, produces more dopamine than the actual success or the process. So yeah, being consistent sucks, especially when it gets ordinary and a little bit less glamorous. The lie usually says failure means reset. It means that's how it feels. And honestly, it makes sense. I've talked about this in the last 2 videos, but the amygdala, that is the backside of your brain. That is the survival instincts of everything. That's your fight or flight. That's your that's fear, anxiety, all that. But most importantly, it is very, very deceitful. And if it feels like you aren't going to make it, my heavens, it will convince you not to do it, even if it's the last thing it can do. Now, I would think and I would assume that Satan would love this part of our brain. And I imagine that's what he uses every single time. Doesn't it sound like it matches up perfectly with the attributes of him himself as described in the Bible? I'd say it lines up almost exactly. But in reality, here's the truth. Understand this because it's not changing anytime soon. In reality, progress usually looks pretty disappointing, at least most of the time. Besides the random spurts of inspiration and excitement and pure and utter joy, it's usually pretty miserable and it's hard. But I don't want that to discourage you guys because the truth is, God wants us to feel this way. If we want to find or produce any fruit in our lives, whether that be a little bit of money, a good family, a good relationship, we've got to go through the work. God has said, even to Adam and Eve, by the sweat of your brow you shall eat, implying that we can't eat, we can't get the food, we can't get the reward if we don't sweat a little bit, don't work. Understanding that concept alone should be very simple, but obviously it's not. Now, I'd consider this channel to be kind of a pit stop in the middle of your race. If you keep going the way you are, I swear you are not going to make it. You're going to crash and burn. So listen, we got some fix-ups to do. Got to change some tires, got to change some mindset, some ideas. And I have one commitment, and if you follow this, I promise you will be good for this last little bit. I want you to identify one habit you've restarted multiple times. Now, just make one commitment. Tomorrow, plan some time, find out when it's going to be, and commit to continuing tomorrow. Exactly as is, the way you had it when you last restarted, or when you just began for the first time. It is business statistics, which keeps us from reaching the 1% because the 99 usually quit when you hit the first drop, which is exactly part of success. Uninformed optimism, little peak, this is kind of fun, but then all of a sudden, this is getting kind of hard. I don't really know if I'm made out for it. You realize just how hard the actual work is. Maybe you aren't cut out for this. Slowly, without you even realizing, start to ascend. That is the business way. And it's always been that way. That's the reason why the 99% usually don't get to the 1%. It's because they usually quit at the drop. So continue as is. No upgrades, no alteration, no resets. You'd be surprised how many people love consistency. I mean, if you don't believe me, go and watch the past couple videos. See how many times I repeat myself over and over and over again. The truth is, you can solve almost every single problem with the same algorithm. My name is Gabriel Bowman. I appreciate you guys watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And also hit that bell icon so you don't miss any of my future videos. I'm posting 3 times a week, and I don't want you to miss a single one. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. Love ya. Bye.